Cowboys Nation, the first hours of free agency just told you everything you need to know about where this organization is headed. And I am not talking about one move. I am talking about two moves, back to back, that hit different parts of the same problem. A starting safety locked up on a smart contract. A Pro Bowl edge rusher acquired for pennies on the dollar. In one afternoon, the Cowboys' defense got more dangerous, more versatile, and more scheme-ready than it has been in years. And fans around the league are already split on whether Jerry Jones just outmaneuvered the market or stepped into a financial trap. But before we break all of it down, one fan to another, hit that subscribe button and drop your take in the comments. This conversation belongs to everyone wearing the star on Sunday. You ready? Let's go. Okay. Let me start where the urgency started, because if you watched this defense last season, you already felt it. Blown coverages, big plays given up in critical moments, a secondary that could not hold up when the game was on the line. Dallas was giving up over 30 points per game. That is not a competitive number for a team with playoff ambitions. And the painful part is the offense was not the problem. Dak Prescott was there, CeeDee Lamb was there, the offensive line was functional. The defense was the anchor dragging everything down. So when the free agency opened, the Cowboys did not sit back and watch the market set prices. They moved first. That aggression matters, because in this league, the teams that wait for the right moment usually find out the right moment already passed them by. The first move tells you something about how this front office is now operating. 3 years, $36 million for Jalen Thompson out of Arizona. That is $12 million per season for a starting caliber safety, and in today's NFL, that is not an overpay. That is disciplined spending on a real need. Now let me tell you who this player actually is, because the name might be new to some Cowboys fans. Thompson has spent all 7 years of his career in Arizona, 7 seasons of NFL experience, entering his age 28 season, which means he is not a project and he is not in decline. He is right in the middle of his prime. What makes him valuable is not one thing, it is the combination. He can play deep coverage, he can drop into the box and be physical against the run, he can defend tight ends and slot receivers, and in the defensive system Christian Parker is trying to build in Dallas, that kind of versatility is not a bonus, it is a requirement. Modern defenses live and die by hybrid defensive backs who can disguise coverages, rotate assignments, and force quarterbacks into hesitation. When a quarterback cannot identify where the safety is going before the snap, he holds the ball longer. When he holds the ball longer, the pass rush gets there. And when the pass rush gets there, everything downstream gets easier. Thompson is the kind of player who creates those problems before the ball is ever snapped. But here's the layer that makes this more than just a free agency addition. Thompson already has a working relationship with Dallas secondary coach Ryan Smith. Both spent time together in Arizona. That familiarity is not a small thing. When a coach already knows exactly how a player processes coverages, reacts to motions, and communicates on the back end, you cut months off the learning curve. The transition into a new defensive scheme happens faster. The communication clicks sooner. And in a season where this defense needs to show real improvement immediately, that head start is real value. Pair Thompson with Malik Hooker, whose contract was already restructured to keep him in Dallas, and suddenly the Cowboys have 2 experienced players anchoring the back end. That is a completely different safety room than what this team was working with last year. And then, just hours before that signing started making headlines, the Cowboys made the move that has the entire league talking.
Dallas acquired Rashan Gary from the Green Bay Packers for a 2027 fourth-round pick. That is it, a fourth-rounder, for a former Pro Bowl edge rusher on a 4-year, $96 million contract. And I want to be direct with you about why the reaction has been split, because the honest answer requires looking at both sides clearly. When the initial reports suggested Dallas gave up a third-round pick, the criticism was loud and it was fair. Analysts jumped on it. Fans were questioning the value. But once the real number came out, a fourth-rounder in 2027, the conversation changed. Because a fourth-round pick 2 years from now is a lottery ticket. You know what is not a lottery ticket? A proven NFL pass rusher who has already demonstrated he can disrupt quarterbacks at the highest level. Now let us talk about what Gary actually brings, because this is where the football case gets strong. Over his career in Green Bay, he compiled 22.5 sacks across 2 healthy seasons, added 47 quarterback hits in that same span, and was consistently among the team leaders in pressure rate, even in years when the sack numbers did not jump off the page. And pressure rate is the stat that actually tells you what a pass rusher does to an offense. Sacks are the result. Pressure is the cause. When a quarterback feels heat, he makes faster decisions, takes more risks, and gives the defense more chances to make plays. Gary was generating that pressure in Green Bay even when the box score did not always reflect it. Here's the piece of this trade that people are not giving enough credit to. Christian Parker, the Cowboys' new defensive coordinator, has direct history with Gary going back to their time together in Green Bay. Parker knows exactly what Gary does well. He knows how to deploy him in the system. He knows where to line him up, when to move him around the front, and how to use him in pass rush packages designed specifically around his skill set. This was not a name recognition trade. This was a scheme fit trade built on a coaching relationship, and that distinction matters enormously because the biggest risk in acquiring any veteran is the adjustment period. If the coordinator already knows the player and the player already trusts the system, that risk drops significantly. Parker wanted Gary specifically. That tells you everything about the confidence behind this move. To be honest with you, I understand why the contract gives some people pause. $96 million is a real number, and it runs through 2027. That is a financial commitment Dallas has to carry. But here's the context that reframes it. Top pass rushers in today's market are commanding $25 to $30 million per year on new deals. Free agency bidding wars for elite edge talent drive prices up fast, and once the window opens, you're competing against every team in the league for the same guys. Dallas stepped in before the auction started, acquired a proven player already under contract, and paid a 4th-round pick to get there. From a front office strategy standpoint, that is not reckless, that is calculated aggression. The question is not whether the contract is big. The question is whether Gary plays at the level that justifies it. And the track record says he can when he's healthy and in the right system. Both of those conditions now exist in Dallas. Now step back and look at what the Cowboys have accomplished in the opening hours of this offseason window. They restructured Malik Hooker's deal to keep him on the back end. They brought in Jalen Thompson to give the secondary real stability and scheme versatility. And they traded for a Pro Bowl pass rusher who already has a direct relationship with the defensive coordinator. That is a defense being built with a plan, not a defense being patched together with whoever was available. The message from this front office is unmistakable. They are not waiting on this defense. They are not hoping youth develops fast enough. They are going to bring in proven players, put them in a system designed around their strengths, and compete right now. Not next year, not in a rebuild cycle, this season. And for a team that already has Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, and a functional offensive line, right now is exactly the right timeline. If this defense can hold leads, force turnovers, and get off the field on 3rd down, the offense takes over. And when that offense takes over, this team is dangerous every single Sunday.